Hello viewers, I am Kausalya. Today we are going to solve problems in exercise 13.1. So problem 1 is two cubes each of volume 64 centimeter cube are joined end to end. Find the surface area of the resulting cuboid. So here I believe you people know the difference between cube and cuboid. So here the key difference is in cube all the sides are equal. Right, all the edges are equal. Whereas in the case of cuboid, the values will differ. Right. So here the thing is we are having two cubes, right? Let this be your first cube and let this be your second cube. And these two cubes are connected end to end. That is, they are attached, right? We are taking two different cubes and we are attaching them by one side. So here we have to find the surface area of the cuboid, right? So here the given thing is we are provided with volume, right? So volume of the cube is, it is 64 centimeter cube. So what is the volume? The formula is A cube. So A cube is equal to 64. Therefore, this 64 can be written as 4 to the power cube. So this cube and cube cancels each other and finally the value of A is equal to 4 centimeter. Right. So this is the value of the side of the cube. So the next thing is we have to find the surface area of the cuboid. Right. So here the formula is, you see, it is 2 times of LB plus BH plus HL. So here we have to know what is our length, breadth and height. So again, when you look back at the problem, you see here each side of a cube is of 4 centimeter. Now we have attached these two cubes. So what about the length? So this is your length. It is 4 plus 4. Therefore it is 8. Right. So next thing is breadth. So here the breadth is again 4 and this is your height and h is also 4. Right. So therefore just substitute the values over here. Right. L is 8 and B is 4. So 8 into 4 plus 4 into 4 and again h into L. So 4 into 8. Right. So 8 fours are 32 and 4 fours are 16 and 8 fours are again 32. So finally when you add and simplify, here we are ending up with the answer as 160 centimeter square because it is area. Right. Whenever you come across the word area, the unit should be in the form of square. Right. Now we will proceed with our second problem. A vessel is in the form of a hollow hemisphere mounted by a hollow cylinder. So here we are having a vessel. Okay, it is in the form of a hollow hemisphere. We are having a hemisphere and there is a hollow cylinder placed upon it. Right, that is the meaning of mounted. Okay, at the top we are having a hollow cylinder. So this is our diagram, right? I am having a hemisphere. Over the hemisphere I am having a cylinder. So the diameter of the hemisphere is 14 centimeter and the total height of the vessel is 13 centimeter. So the diameter of the hemisphere is given, right? So diameter is nothing but this part. So it is 14 and the total height of the vessel is 13. So find the inner surface area of the vessel. So we have to calculate the inner surface area, which is nothing but the same thing, okay? Total surface area. So as per the thing, first you just find out the formulas, okay? What is the formula to find the surface area of the sphere? It is nothing but, surface area of hemisphere, it is 2 pi r square. And what is the formula to find the surface area of cylinder? It is 2 pi r h, right? So in these things, we have to find out what is the value of r and what is the value of h. So you see, from this diagram, this is the diameter of the hemisphere. So what about the radius? It is 14 divided by 2. So here the radius will be 7. So the radius of the hemisphere is equal to the radius of this cylinder, right? Because they are placed one upon other and the two of the same size. Therefore, you see the radius of the hemisphere is 7. Similarly, the radius of the cylinder is also 7, right? The next thing is we have to find the height, right? We know the entire height of the vessel, but what we actually need, I need the height of the cylinder. So how to calculate the height of the cylinder? Again, you see here, this is your radius, right? Similarly, this is also your radius. So here the value is 7, Right. So when you subtract 7 from 13, automatically we can easily get the height of this cylinder. Right. So 13 minus 7 is equal to 6, which is nothing but the height of the cylinder. So now we know the value of R and H of both the hemisphere as well as the cylinder. So just substitute in the formula. So here you see, since they are provided inner surface, okay, again you just write it as inner surface area, which is nothing but again the total surface area or curved surface area, right? So here the formula for hollow sphere is, it is 2 pi r square plus for the cylinder is 2 pi r h. So here now just substitute the values. So 2 into 22 by 7, the value of r is 7, okay, 7 into 7, plus here the value of r is 7 and the value of h is 6. So just substitute and cancel the common terms. So here again you see, in these two expressions, okay, in this expression as well as in this expression, this 2 into 22 is common. So just take it outside. So when you take 2 into 22 commonly outside, the remaining parameters are 7 and 6 here. Right. So 7 plus 6 is nothing but 13 and 2 times of 22 is 44. So when you multiply, finally we are ending up with the answer as 572 centimeters square. Right. So here comes the end of this problem. We will move on to our third problem. The problem is, a toy is in the form of a cone of radius 3.5 centimeter mounted on a hemisphere of same radius. The total height is 15.5. Find the total surface area of the toy. So here you see, we are having a toy in the form of a cone, right? And this is mounted on a hemisphere. So here we are having a cone and a hemisphere. So here the cone is mounted on the hemisphere. So just draw a cone, right? And there is a hemisphere at the bottom. So the total height of the toy is, it is 15.5 centimeter. So find the total surface area of the toy, right? So here we are having a hemisphere, right? And we are having a cone. So the given data are, the total height of the toy is given, okay, which covers your cone as well as your hemisphere. It is given. Then the radius of the cone is given as 3.5 centimeters. So here, this is your base of the cone, right? And therefore the radius of the cone here, it is 3.5, right? So again I am telling, the radius of the cone is equal to the radius of the hemisphere because they are mounted one upon the other, right? So here now we are going to find the height of the cone. So for finding the height of the cone, you see I know this 15.5. So again you see, this is the radius. Similarly, the line joining from the center to this point is also the radius. It is 3.5. So when you subtract this 3.5 from this 15.5, automatically I will be getting the height of the cone. Therefore, 15.5 minus 3.5 is 12, right? So the next is the radius of the hemisphere. So the radius of the hemisphere is, it is 3.5 centimeter. Similarly, the radius of the, because you see the radius of the cone is given, the radius of the cone is equal to radius of the hemisphere because they are mounted one upon the other, right? Now we are going to find the slant height of the cone. So the slant height of the cone is nothing but, it is square root of r square plus h square, right? So this is the r of the cone and this is the h of the cone. So the value of r is 3.5, the value of h is, it is 12. So just substitute and simplify. Finally here we are ending up with the answer as 12.5 centimeter, right? So now we can just substitute all these values in the formula and we can find the total surface area of the toy. So here the total surface area of the toy is, it is nothing but curved surface area of cone plus curved surface area of hemisphere. The formula is pi r L plus this is 2 pi r square, right? So since radius is common for both the cone and hemisphere, we can take this r commonly outside. So here I can take this pi r, right? Because pi r is present in both these terms. So when you take pi r outside, the remaining terms are, it is L plus 2r. Right. So just substitute the values here. The value of r is 3.5 and L is 12.5. So just substitute, right? So here you see this 2 into 3.5 becomes 7. So 12.5 plus 7 becomes 19.5. Now when you cancel this 7 and this 3.5, here comes 0.5. So 22 into, you see, rather than keeping, that is, we can write this 0.5 as 1 by 2. Right. This will make our calculation easier. So when you write it as 1 by 2, you see this 22 and 2, they cancel. So 11 into 19.5, that gives the answer as 214.5 centimeter square. So finally, this is the total surface area of the toy. Right. So regarding these problems, the main thing is you should be familiar with the formulas. Right. Once you know the formulas, then you have to find the terms which you require for the formulas. For example, you see here we need the radius of the cone as well as the slant height of the cone. Right. So you have to calculate these two values. Once you find out these values, then the next step is just you have to substitute these values and finally calculate the answer. Right. So here in this problem, this is our answer, and always do remember to mention the units. Right. So that's all. If you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. Thank you.